Welcome back to the program. In case you just joined us, well, you're right in time for Daybreak Interactive, where we give you the opportunity to be in the driver's seat by sharing your opinions, your thoughts, your views, and basically your take on our conversation. And today, like I did say, we're going to talk about 2027 politics. I mean, it's almost the biggest shadow in Nigeria right now, where everything else falls under the conversation about what is going to happen in 2027. And we've been seeing a lot of alignments and realignments from all the political power brokers, stakeholders, parties involved. The APC is going through a major realignment right now, one might recently add, with the resignation of its national chairman, former governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje. And of course, that has opened the conversation up for even bigger things to happen, as we see some of these different stakeholders across regional lines begin to position themselves for various positions within the party and in the government itself. And then from the coalition side, we're also hearing about possible nominations, as well as some political figures that might be taking up certain positions. Much of it not official yet, but it is shaping up to be quite the battle. And of course, we are asking you the most important question of it all, about how some of these positions are being placed on a regional template, so to say. And we're asking the question about regional balancing. How important is it in the context of political leadership, in the context of political representation? Because that is a big part of the question that needs to be answered, isn't it? We obviously know that these are some of the conversations that will definitely shape the conversation for 2027, and that's why this conversation is all the more important. So let's have your say on this one. What do you make about the regional balancing, where the chairman of the political party in power, for instance, just stepped down, and you have all of these groups jostling for this particular position? And of course, we understand that there might be some changes that might be made to the government in order to allow the APC have some sort of strategy going into 2027. But the coalition is also coming up with some of its own winning strategy. For instance, we've been hearing from the grapevine that former Senate President David Mark is poised to lead the party that will probably be adopted by the coalition as its national chairman. That is still in the realm of speculation, or at best, something that is anticipated to happen in the days to come. So let's talk about this. All this regional balancing, the North Central gets this, the Northeast gets that, the South gets this, or the Southwest gets that, in terms of the positions for the tickets or the leadership of the party. How do you think that helps the political conversation moving forward, especially in the context of quality political leadership? Because at the end of the day, that's what Nigerians care the most about. How do these alignments and realignments help add value to our lives and livelihood? Let's speak to our first caller, calling from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Shetima Yakudima is, of course, joining the conversation. Shetima, good morning. It's been a while.
Hello?
Hello, Shetima. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Abdullahi.
Good morning, Shetima. It's been a while. How have you been?
Alhamdulillah, we thank God.
Good to hear that. Go ahead, please.
Honestly speaking, Abdullah, I did not understand about that regional balance. In politics, there is nothing like regional balancing. The person that champions the acceptability of the people is supposed to lead the party. All these regional blah 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 is confusing our politics. This is the truth. Because politics is all about numbers. It's all about acceptability. It's all about who champions the acceptability of the people. Who the teacher that was accepted, let him lead the party. And as what Mali was saying, who cap peace, let him wear it. So that's the politics. But mind you, Abdullahi, generally speaking, We don't have political party in Nigeria. This is true. We don't have political party in Nigeria. If you observe it very well, all our political parties, or they are operating out of manifesta. Some of them, they don't have any manifesta. So can you call that group a political party? It's a group of power mongers who are struggling to find a step in the corridor of power to reach government treasury. You see, what I am trying to say here is, my call to Nigerians is, if we want sanity, if we want to relief, 2027 is around the corner. We should make sure that our broadcast was very near to us, very close to us. We keep it in a safe place. When the 2027 comes, any position seeker, let the constituency members call him. You don't bother. From which party are you contesting? Let's call him. Sit down with him. What do you have for us? What are you going to offer? Let him tell it with his mouth. If there is some amendment or what the constituency needs, let them point it out to him. So we need this, we need that, we need that, we need this. And let it be in a frame of time. If you are in that position, if this time lapse, we do not see anything, then surely we will call you back. We will call you back. That's the only thing I think we can have sanity in this basic politics that is operating in Nigeria in the name of political party.
Right.
The thing is going out of hand. Because people are just jumping into the position of power without any plan. They don't have anything to offer to the people.
Right.
They just come in, enrich themselves, enrich their immediate family, and go away. We are sick and tired of these things that is happening in this country. People are becoming more poorer. People that they are working in with Bakum, that they are becoming rich and rich. Overnight, a person will become a multi-billionaire. All is expensive for masses. Masses are dying without security. People are dying without. Honestly speaking, the thing is hurting me.
Right.
We have to prepare something for ourselves. I am calling for Nigerians. All constituencies, you have to be speaking with the candidate that is constituting in any position. Listen to him, what you want. And if you do not, you give him prime time. If you not deliver, then you just call him back. I think that is the only thing. Even though the process of calling back is too tedious. They do it deliberately.
Right.
So we have to do something. We have to join hands together to bring sanity for the politics of our country.
Right.
Thank you so much. This is my take. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day too, Shatima. Thank you so much for your thoughts as always. Very passionate about the issues being discussed, and we always appreciate your contribution, Shatima, for being a part of the conversation as always. I think key takeaway for me is political consciousness and awareness of the Nigerian public has to be increased significantly so that we can look beyond the curtains and understand how we're being played. A lot of the conversation that is happening at the highest level is always about power sharing, right? Meritocracy is not necessarily key on the agenda, and neither is a sense of accountability. So someone could get into a position today simply because he is the biggest voice in that region, or perhaps the one who has the opportunity to take that position because he comes from a particular region, and that is what Nigerian politics has become. I believe we have an Ismail calling from Niger. Ismail, good morning.
Good morning, Abdul.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Very good morning to all Nigerians. This morning topic is a very interesting topic. Look at the picture you just displayed on the screen. It speaks much of what our politicians are all about. It's very obvious that they are not what they are themselves, not Nigerians.
Hello, Ismail. if you can hear me, I'm going to need you to try again because the connection is actually so bad that we can't make out what you're saying. Apologies for that, but let's just try it again, okay? The numbers are showing on your TV screen. Do not forget, you can also use the text message option via WhatsApp. Feel free to add your voice to the conversation. Articulate your thoughts via SMS and send it to our WhatsApp number. The numbers are showing on your TV screen, and we're talking about Nigerian politics and the conversation around regional balance. We see a lot of these groups come from North Central, Northeast, Northwest. We are demanding this, we're demanding that from the party, from the government. How is this helping add value to quality political leadership and representation? And that's the conversation we're having right now, because it is one of those key issues that are shaping the conversation about 2027. That is shaping the conversation about 2027, and all the more reason why we should talk about it. How much merit is there in this conversation about regional balancing, and what does that actually translate in terms of deliverables, right? Say, for instance, this particular region has the national chairman of party A or B. What does that actually mean in tangibles for the region, and why should people from that region feel a sense of loyalty or support for that political party because the chairman comes from this particular region, or the the running mate comes from this particular region, or the candidate himself comes from one particular region? Has that actually helped us in moving the needle, in addressing the gaps, the structural gaps in our governance process? Let's have a conversation about this, especially from the perspective of what solutions we can adapt to address some of the issues within the political conversations or narratives that are being peddled out there ahead of 2027, because it does appear that 2027, like most elections in the past, is going to be a make or mar type of situation. So let's have a conversation about it. The number is shown on your TV screens. You have multiple options there, so feel free to pick anyone. The network sometimes can be tricky. I believe Ismail is back on the line again. Ismail, happy to have you back. Let's give it another try. Go ahead, please.
All right. Thank you, Madam Abdullahi. You see, let me not waste much of time. What Nigeria needs is very minute. Nigeria needs what the key things Nigeria for our politicians. Let's have the quality education. Let's have an access to a quality healthcare. Let's have an access to a road network. All we need is no more than this. But what is happening in our political system is uncalled for. Look at recently in Nigeria State. Look at how our soldiers are being killed. What is happening with our security network? These are things that have been politicized. So what I'm calling on with the electorate, I think it's high time we sign MOU with whoever is going to represent us. This is what we need. When we are able to win an election, this is the program we need, at least we need, which you must deliver. If you are unable to deliver, let's call you back. I think it's high time. Every Nigerian should know this. Every citizen of this country has the right to call back whoever they elected to an office. We should know that whoever underperformed, we should know that yes, at any point in time, it can be called back. I think if the politicians know that the electorate know their rights, I think they will do the needful.
All right.
Right. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Ismail. I appreciate you for that articulate contribution. Yes, I'm quite happy that our first two callers are focusing the attention on the people, because if there's a seismic shift in the mindset of Nigerians, I get the sense that the leaders will end up having no choice but to do what the people actually want them to do, because at the end of the day, democracy is about the will of the people. Let's speak to our second calling from Gombe, I believe. Our second, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? In quite a long time.
Yes, it's actually been a while. Yes. Good to hear from you as always.
How are you?
Fine, thank you, our second.
All right. Sincerely speaking, the topic for today is just so too far. I will say that you support regional balancing. This is a gimmick. This is fraudulent. We should go by the positive thing. Anything that will bring Nigeria together, anything that will make us just one and one. They should not start bringing different ideas that will come and jeopardize the system. Nothing stays hidden forever. Anything we are doing in life has repercussions. We must put the right thing in place and stop deceiving ourselves. Thank you, my good friend Abdullahi. God bless you. God bless us. God bless you.
Amen. As always, Abasekon, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Always good to hear from you. Yes, big picture conversation. Is this actually helping us make any difference? Is this making a change in our lives and in our livelihood? I mean, playing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome is the proper definition of madness, isn't it? We keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we appear to be stuck with underdevelopment, poor representation. The leadership result has not been appreciable. I mean, ask Nigerians what they make of the last 26 years. Yes, there might be some, high points that Nigerians can cherry pick from, but the overall, assessment is that our political leadership has left much to be desired. And how can you fault Nigerians for believing that what we've been practicing so far is, not giving us the outcome that we need? We're still, pretty much knee deep in a lot of structural problems. So that's why I suppose it's important to have this conversation. Abasekon said it's a gimmick, and you kind of believe that it is if you look at it critically speaking, right? They talk about how the regions are politically poised to, deliver in terms of the electoral voting map. Let's speak to our next caller. Is it Engineer Salas from Enugu? Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Good morning, Engineer Salas. Thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Good morning, Engineer Stanley.
Stanley, I beg your pardon. Engineer Stanley, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Please go ahead.
Thank you. From your topic this morning, interesting one. You see, this regional thing is a way of these politicians deceiving us and getting everything to themselves. Now, for me, I don't believe in regional. Anybody can rule. What matters most is the policy you throw out there that will affect your life. Take for instance, I'm not just saying for saying sake. When Buhari was in power, so many things happened in my field. I'm an engineer, electrical engineer, consultant, and a contractor.
Right.
Because of some policies he made then, I made a lot of money. I bought my second car then. I built my house during Buhari. I'm not just saying that. I'm a little man. Yes, Buhari might have made some mistakes, really spending. But we did some things right. That is one thing about politics. This, what do they call it, regional, it doesn't matter if Igbo man is ruling, or Yoruba man, or an Hausa man. What matters is the politics he made at that particular time. I will affect the life of Nigerians, Okay, look at what is happening now. Regional, you give the presidency to a Yoruba man, you give a Senate president to a South Southern Calabar man, and what are we getting from it? Still nothing. Instead of going by this regional balancing of whatever, then let's practice regional governance. Let's each region. You understand?
Yeah.
This is what we have been doing before, and it was working then. Instead of going by balancing or whatever, let each region govern themselves. And report to the center. The center collect tax. US is doing it, it's working for them. You get your own police, you get your own whatever. You control the security there. And then we'll be able to be strong as a nation. We won't have enemies around us. But look at what is happening. Everything is center. If a commissioner of police don't get orders from Abuja, he will not be able to work in Gombe or Zamfara. If the army chiefs does not get whatever from Abuja, he will not be able to work. It's a big problem to us. So that is my contribution for now.
Thank you so much, Engineer Stanley. Appreciate your take on this one. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Yes, actually, a fresh perspective from Engineer Stanley there, talking about the mix matching or mismatch you talk about in terms of our governance structure, right? In terms of our politics itself, right? We don't operate a regional system of government, yet there's always a regional conversation about the presidential system, which is an aberration in and of itself, right? You go to the United States, for instance, and we copy their presidential style of governance, right? This is not what they have in their conversation about governance. So why is it happening here? Makes you want to scratch your head. Let's speak to our next caller then. Ibrahim is calling from Yolo. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, about this today, I think in the past, in the 60s, are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead, please. We can hear you clearly.
I said in the 60s, regional government did perform a lot. If you look at Sadona, Awolo, Zik, they created industries. They created job opportunities for Nigeria. Today, we have all these regional commissions and whatever you could say, zonal commissions, these development commissions. What are they doing? What are they really producing for the people? Let's go and check NNDC since Babangida time, or even since before Babangida. How have they developed Nigeria to today? So the issue is not whether it's regionalism or not. The politicians themselves are not prepared to develop this country. And until they decide that they want to develop this country and move Nigeria forward, no matter how we talk, they are not interested. Because the Sadona and Awolo's had interest of their people at heart. And they created industries in the north, Kaduna, Zamfara, Sokoto, Texas, everything was going on. So, for me, I don't think this alignment of everything has anything to do with anything. The politicians themselves are not prepared to work for the country. When they are willing to work for the regions, Nigeria will move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that apt take. Yes, of course, you can't disagree with the notion that Nigerian politicians do not appear to actually be working for the people. I mean, they look like they're working for the people. They say they're working for the people, but the reality is that you get a sense that their interest is not necessarily aligned with what the people need or what the people are yearning for. And case in point, the conversation about those regional governments that we look back with nostalgia and we look at their track record, right? Say what you want to say about some of the arguments the military made in the 66 coup and everything else after that. There's still a lot of tangibles, right? I mean, Awolowo's record in terms of education, for instance, is still there today, 60 years after, right? And obviously, the point about all these regional development commissions, again, piggybacking off of the question about regionalizing our politics, right? Every region feels the need, okay, we need to have this for our own people. But at the end of the day, what are the actual tangibles? Every region now has the 6 geopolitical regions that we have right now, has its development commission. But what are the tangibles? Every state has senators, every state has House of Representatives. But the issue around poverty, unemployment, insecurity are still prevalent. So what does that say about that type of representation? Let's have a conversation about this. The number is still showing on your TV screen. Feel free to add your voice and be a part of the conversation. Remember to articulate your thoughts in a most appropriate manner and keep it light and simple so we can accommodate as many opinions as we can. You also have the option of joining the conversation via WhatsApp, so feel free to do so, sending us a text message with your name and your location to the numbers shown on your TV screen. We're talking about Nigerian politics. As you do know, the 2027 conversation is already on. Less than 20 months or thereabout to the next general election. We're already talking about issues that are shaping the conversation about what is to come. And much of that is about the region. Which region is going to get this? Which region is going to get that? From the political party leadership to the key positions in government. Let's take our next caller. Do I have a caller on the line? All right, let's give it another try again. Feel free to try again. Let's take a look at WhatsApp now to read some of your contributions and comments. Here's the first contribution on WhatsApp. It says, My take on the issue is that there is the need for regional balancing in politics of the country, not lopsided one that only care about one region. The balancing should encompass all regions of the country to feel a sense of belonging. Usman Santuraki from Jamaica in Yola, Adamawa State. Thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, representation is key, but what are we sacrificing on the altar of representation? That is my question to you, Usman. Let's speak to our next caller. Hello, good morning.
This is Abasekon calling back.
Abasekon, welcome back. Go ahead.
Yeah. You see, the reason why I said this regional issue is a gimmick is just a way of being fraudulent. Is that when you look at the Midwestern state that time, the premier at that time was corrupt. But in the North, the man was not corrupt. And in the Midwestern state, the man was extremely corrupt, Okotebo. We all know his history. And then when you look at the East, they were also very, very corrupt. So, regional is not the thing. The basic thing is that we must do the right thing. The right thing should be done. Forget about regional, forget about this, but we should do the right thing. If the right thing is done, food on the table, security, the hospital, the teacher are being taken care of, the retirees. Imagine, look at the fraudulent act that is happening in the Nigerian police pension scheme. Those issues should be addressed. Once there is transparency in our hospital, there will be no japa to London, to any country abroad. So this is the basic issue. We should do the right thing and forget about all those gimmicks. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you again for your second take, which I also agree with. Listen, like I was saying earlier, unemployment, poverty, insecurity. Tell me one region of the country that you go to, one part of Nigeria you go to where these are not prevalent issues. Unemployment, poverty, and a lot more, right? So for a federal republic, maybe it's time our politics represents a federal republic type of politics, one that is not necessarily identity politics in such a regional manner, right? Representation is important, but also we're dealing with some familiar common denominators, regardless of where you come from. Back to our WhatsApp platform now. Let's take a look at the next contribution on the conversation. Abdullahi Ali Usman from Gogolada here in Abuja says, regional balancing in Nigerian politics context is key due to our sentimental thoughts and beliefs. This is because when all the regions are equally represented, agitation from the people spur the leaders for positive dividends of democracy and good governance. By comparison and backlashing in the sense that as a representative you feel your colleagues from the other regions have done this and that for their people, it becomes a challenge that you have to do something as well. I understand that sentiment, Abdullah, and thank you so much for joining the conversation. But also, why does it have to be a competition, right? I mean, the needs of your people are quite peculiar. I can tell you that in my part of, say, Yola and Adamawa State, the needs are not necessarily the same with the people in Tongo, for instance. So if I'm providing my people with water, I don't think it's a challenge for somebody whose people already have water. They need something else. So I understand that sentiment, and I wish our politicians think in that particular manner. Let's speak to our next caller. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Trust TV.
Good morning. Who is on the line and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Umar Abdullahi Angibi. I'm calling from Nasarawa State, Lafia particularly.
Umar, good morning. How is Lafia this morning?
Oh, Lafia is fine. The weather is clement. We're having a bit of a cloudy situation now.
Yes, exactly. Similar here in Abuja. Thank you so much for joining us. Please go ahead.
Well, I just caught the conversation at the point where you are making reference to the regional commissions, what impact they would make, and with regards to also our representation, the National Assembly and that. I think one of the most important things this administration has done is to see to the existence of these 6 regional commissions. You know, it was something that was actually established during the Abacha administration and identified or proposed by the former Vice President Alex Ikwemi. But even though you see its operations and what political parties do in terms of zoning arrangements and all that, but it is not established in our constitution. That is the current argument now. But if you keep all those arguments aside and look at their usefulness to the people and how you can move this democratic arrangement forward, then you can see the positive aspect of it. Yes, there are insinuations that it's like a duplication of function, it is going to interfere with governance in the state and all that. It is just a mindset. The reality of it is that with the kind of people that are making up with the board, who are also picked from the different states where their representative commissions are, we expect that they are supposed to also add value to governance. So it is just for us to have a positive look to it rather than to condemn it completely in its entirety, saying that political parties, government employed that formula in either distribution of resources, assignment of political positions, and all that. But it is only on those theoretical frames or when such struggles are done. But when it comes to the practicality and the real people on ground, the citizens, they don't benefit from it. It is with the creation of this commission now that you can start see people asking or demanding, especially when budgets are made for certain developmental efforts. Every citizen should wake up and would wake up to say, well, this allocation was made through the commission here, and we are not seeing anything there. So I think it is positive rather than negative from my own point of view.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Umar, for that perspective. I do believe there's a lot of points there. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation this morning. Listen, a lot of people would nod in agreement, and some would perhaps dismiss at this particular point, but to each his own, right? I think to his point, on paper, there are a lot of perfect ideas that we have on paper. But what about the reality? Is that our lived experience? I'm not here, we're not necessarily trying to make this about the development commissions, but since that's the point that he's making, what are the deliverables today? Look at what's happening in the Niger Delta, for instance. Just a couple of years ago, remember the embarrassing performance of the commission when it was being taken to task about accountability for billions and billions of naira that have been allocated to cater to the needs of the people in the Niger Delta. What has happened to that? It has become a cash cow. And unfortunately, that is the overwhelming public perception about all of these development commissions, that they've become cash cows for politicians who want to take credit for setting them up or who use them as an avenue to, self-aggrandize in a manner. But of course, on paper, we all know that they're designed to fill in the gaps and also deliver some of those much needed amenities or infrastructure that some of these regions might have in terms of their wants and needs. So yes, we're going to have to leave it here for now. Thank you so much for a wonderful contribution to what has been an engaging conversation this morning.